right. Good morning, Miss Bahar. Okay, so we are day 35, chapter 35, Psalm 35. And I tell you, I can't wait to get into some of these chapters, some of my favorite ones. But I don't know about y'all. Well, actually I do, because you guys have shared how much you're enjoying the psalm reading, so I praise y'all for that. I tell you, I'm loving it. I'm loving, you know, it's I hate technology. Oh, I can't stand technology. I don't know. I would I would have no problem with all technology crashing and not existing anymore, but for this right here, I'm thankful for technology, because, you know, to me, every morning I get together with my brothers and sisters in Yah and get into the Word with you every morning, and as we go before our King. And because he says, if two or more are gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst of them. You know, we're gathered together in a way that nobody would have ever dreamed of being able to do prior to the last 70 years. You know, and I look forward to this every morning. I look forward to being able to get together with you guys every morning and read the Word and hope and pray that chapter that day was just what you needed for the day, you know. And I just thank Yah for allowing me the privilege to be able to get with you guys every morning and get into the Word, and I just praise Yah for it, you know. I praise Yah for you guys, that you're crazy enough to want to listen to me talk every morning. So, you know, whatever works, right? But it's just praise Yah. It's good morning to you guys, all of you. It's just awesome, and can't wait for the day that when we're all together forever. What a great day that will be. All right, so enough mushy stuff. Day 35, Psalm 35. Here we go. Plead my cause, O Yehovah, with those who strive with me. Fight against those who fight against me. Take hold of shield and buckler, and stand up for my help. Also draw out the spear, and stop those who pursue me. Say to my soul, I am your salvation. Let those be put to shame and brought to dishonor who seek after my life. Let those be turned back and brought to confusion who plot my hurt. Let them be like chaff before the wind, and let the angel of Yehovah chase them. Let their way be dark and slippery, and let the angel of Yehovah pursue them. For without cause they have hidden their net for me in a pit, which they have dug without cause for my life. Let destruction come upon him unexpectedly, and let his net that he has hidden catch himself. Into that very destruction let him fall. And my soul shall be joyful in Yehovah, it shall rejoice in his salvation. All my bones shall say, Yehovah, who is like you, delivering the poor from him who is too strong for him. Yes, the poor and the needy from him who plunders him. Fierce witnesses rise up. They ask me things that I do not know. They reward me evil for good to the sorrow of my soul. But as for me, when they were sick, my clothing was sackcloth. I humbled myself with fasting, and my prayer would return to my own heart. I paced about as though he were my friend or brother. I bowed down heavily as one who mourns for his mother. But in my adversity they rejoiced and gathered together. Attackers gathered against me, and I did not know it. They tore at me and did not cease. With ungodly mockers at feasts, they gnashed at me with their teeth. Yehovah, how long will you look on? Rescue me from their destructions. My precious life from the lions. I will give you thanks in the great assembly. I will praise you among many people. Let them not rejoice over me who are wrongfully my enemies, nor let them wink with the eye who hate me without a cause. For they do not speak peace, but they devise deceitful matters. Against the quiet ones in the land they also opened their mouth wide against me, and said, Aha, aha, our eyes have seen it. This you have seen, Yehovah. Do not keep silence. O Yehovah, do not be far from me. Stir up yourself and awake to my vindication. To my cause, my Elohim and my Adonai. Vindicate me, Yehovah, my El, according to your righteousness. And let them not rejoice over me. Let them not say in their hearts, Ah, so we would have it. Let them not say, We have swallowed him up. Let them be ashamed and brought to mutual confusion, who rejoice at my hurt. Let them be clothed with shame and dishonor, who exalt themselves against me. Let them shout for joy and be glad, who favor my righteous cause. And let them say continually, Let Yehovah be magnified, who has pleasure in the prosperity of his servant. And my tongue shall speak of your righteousness and of your praise all the day long. Everything about that chapter is about Yah's deliverance and Yah's protection. You know, we live in a culture where it's all about I am. I mean, people want to be their own God, which is ironic. But everybody, it's I am, and you can do nothing to me. And I mean, the mentality is to rebel against authority, and everything's about taking things into your own hands. Even those, now there's a difference. If somebody walks up to you and tries to hurt you, you defend yourself. You don't just stand there and let them beat you to death. That's not Yah's way. But when we have people who accuse us falsely or speak or slander us or whatever the case may be, who like David talks about, devises a wicked plan against them, stuff like that. When these things happen, we don't need to seek vengeance. We don't need to seek a way to go after them or anything like that. We let Yah take care of it. There's no greater there's no greater one to fight for us than Yehovah our Yeshua. Even all through the Torah and all through the Tanakh, he says, if you will obey my commandments, I will fight for you. I will protect you. And we have the hope of knowing. I love the one of the best descriptions of it is Gideon. You know, he started out with, 32,000 men, I think it was, to go up against the army in the valley. And Yah said, your army's too big. For if you go and win, you'll pat yourself on the back. And he dwindled it down to 300 men. But even those men did not even pick up a sword to fight. He had those 300 men surround the entire valley area where the enemies encamped. Thousands of men down there. And they did one thing. They all blew a shofar. And it was the Spirit of Yah that went down and caused confusion and fear upon that army, and they all killed each other. They all turned on each other. This is the hope that we have against our enemies, against Hasatan, against the demonic spiritual realm that is around us, coming against us constantly in different ways or through people, and for anybody that comes against us directly in any way, shape, or form. Blow the proverbial shofar at them. Let Yah confound them and confuse them to where they turn on themselves or on each other. That is our hope. That is our protection. That's our guard. It's Him. He protects us from the front and from the back and all around. How many times a day, how many times a week, how many times a month, how many times a year does Yah save our life and we don't even know it? How many times did He have us running a few minutes late that saved us from being hit in a head-on collision that would have taken our life? Or something that, I don't know, some kind of bad food poisoning that would have killed us or done something to us. We were going to go eat somewhere and end up not eating. Or, I mean, I could come up with all kinds of scenarios. We don't know. We don't know how often Yah has saved our lives. If He was to actually put a list in front of us, I wonder how much that would freak us out and talk about make you paranoid to, you know, I'm not leaving my house. You know, we really don't know. And what about how many times you do know? If you had any kind of life like I did in the past and bad decisions and everything that I used to do, I know of like 6 or 7 times that I know of that I should have died. You know, drugs, the fighting, the kind of stuff I got involved in and everything else, I should have died. You know, the way I would drive, it's like I was daring Yah to kill me. But how many times does He protect us? How many times has He saved us? And we don't even know about. We breathe every day. We wake up every morning to breathe breath again because He gave us permission to be sustained through the night. You know, I think about how people, I think all of us have probably heard at one time or another, you know, in the news or whatever, somebody passed away, their heart just stopped. Stopped dead right there, just bam, they dropped like a sack of potatoes. And no reason, their heart just stopped. I remember a story about a guy, I don't know if he's a youth minister or what. His 16-year-old daughter was standing in front of him, and she looked at him. She said, "Daddy, I feel lightheaded." Those were her last words he ever heard, and he collapsed right in front of her. And the doctor said her heart stopped before she hit the ground. I mean, we never know, but Yah protects us every day. He fights for us. He is our protector. He keeps us going, and He promises long life and long days to those who walk in obedience to His word. To be obedient. If you will obey me, you will have long life. If you obey me, you will have many gray hairs upon your head. If you will obey me, all based on just, if you will obey me, all of this blessing and protection and safety and everything in him. Does that mean we won't go through things? Sure, we will. It's what refines us, it's what purifies us. But he promises that even the things that the righteous go through, I will deliver them from them all. So we know that when we enter into a time of tribulation in our life, we know that there's light at the end of the proverbial tunnel. We know that he is going to deliver us out of it. Those who are lost, or those who play around with Yah and stuff, they don't have that hope. But we do. Because we walk in obedience to him, we stay faithful to him. And he will deliver us. He will protect us. He will fight for us against our enemies. When we are willing to not waver no matter what. When we are willing to be faithful no matter what. When we are willing to be obedient no matter what. We don't make excuses. We hold true and we honor him and glorify him in our obedience and everything we say and do. Then we have the absolute clear assurance. I can go through the day confidently knowing that Yehovah has my back and my front and my sides. He's got me covered. And the only way that I will see death is if it's the day that he has appointed for me to go home to be with him. And then I don't have to worry about it. And like the Apostle Paul said, to die is to gain. And that is exactly what it is. We have nothing to be afraid of. We have nothing to fear if we walk in obedience to him, because he promises to protect us and deliver us. Even King Hezekiah, he was a man who faithfully walked in the ways of Yah, who led the people to walk in obedience to Yehovah. And as he was dying, he cried out and said, I don't want to die yet. I have honored you. I have served you. And he sent the prophet Nathan, I believe it was. Was it Nathan? But he sent the prophet to him and said, Yah has heard your voice. You will get another 15 years of life. And he did. All because he was a man who obeyed Yah and kept his ways and taught others to do the same. You don't realize, Mishpachah, maybe you do, but a lot don't. You don't realize how much Yah will do anything for you when you walk in obedience to him. When you obey him and keep his commandments and proclaim his name all throughout the world and wherever part of the world you're in. You have so much of Yah's ear. At any given moment, when your focus, your key focus in everything is to bring honor and glory to him, to praise him, to obey him. And like you've been following us long enough, you've heard me say this so many times. Quote this verse, Exodus 19:5. If you will heed my voice and keep my covenant, then you will be a special treasure unto me above all other people, for all the earth is mine. This is the Yehovah Elohim that we serve. And he makes it so simple. Heed my voice, obey my covenant. And it is not hard to do. 1 John 5:3, for those who love God, obey his commandments, and his commandments are not burdensome. They're not a burden. Anybody who would declare the commandments of Yah a burden doesn't know Yah. They don't know what they say. So Mishpachah, as you go about today, don't be afraid of anything in your life. Your boss, your job, a spouse, whoever. Don't be afraid. Do not worry or fear about the outcome. Because if you are walking in obedience to Yah, if you're doing everything you can to honor Him and glorify Him, if you're doing everything that you can to praise His name, to serve Him, then Yah hears you. He's watching over you. And as Psalm 91:1 says, he who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. That is our place. That is our refuge. Be there and dwell there, Mishpachah. So be blessed. And again, go and read it for yourself today. Today's psalm. Read it. Meditate on it. Let it fill your heart with what it means. And just look upon your King who wants to protect you, who wants you under His wings, so to speak. So be blessed. Have an awesome and blessed day, Mishpachah. Shalom, shalom.